So let's talk about fasting. What are the things that you can do right now? I hope that everybody, being at home are not just going from the kitchen to the pantry and eating more and more and more foods. So that's the reason why we actually start out with talking about fasting. So can you do fasting at this time? When people keep talking about how there is not enough food available and so on and so forth, can you do fasting? Would that be helpful for your immune system? Absolutely. So immune system is typically it's an amazing system. We are a very sophisticated machine. We are capable of actually without even letting our body. We don't have to call our body to tell us, tell that there is a virus coming in or bacteria coming in. Your body, is always vigilant and paying attention and looking at for things that shouldn't be in there and getting rid of it. So it's actually an amazing, sophisticated machine that we have here. We just have to know how to handle this machine so that we get the optimal benefit out of it. So, fasting, if you think about it, I have actually talked about this prior as well, but it's a good time to refresh on this right now. Is that fasting is typically how humans have lived and evolved for centuries. Why? Because obviously we didn't always have access to a pantry or a refrigerator or didn't have refrigerators in the first place. So obviously we didn't always have food available. Humans had to go hunt, gather, and so on and so forth. And so there were long periods of time where we went without food. So, but now in today's world, we're actually told to eat 3 times a day, 4 times a day, and 5 times a day, and so on and so forth. And I know that it's actually kind of dying out right now, and more people are becoming more aware of fasting. But how can you use fasting right now to boost your immune system? There are many different ways of doing it. The simplest thing that you can actually do is intermittent fasting. And we typically should be fasting for 12 hours. That is not intermittent fasting. So you should not really eat even at that period of time. So if let's say that you eat at 7 p.m., then you should at least be not eating until 7 a.m. So that's 12 hours. That's not intermittent fasting. That is just normal, for you to go to sleep and then wake up and get ready before you eat breakfast. So there should at least be 12 hours. So if you're not doing that, at least start with that. You should not be eating at least for a 12-hour window in a 24-hour period every single day. Okay, so if you are hungry when you wake up, then drink plenty of water. That's actually a very, very good way to flush things out first in the morning so that you're not, starting out with a lot of gunk there before we start eating. So that's one. What is intermittent fasting? So, intermittent fasting is where you do it at least for 14 hours and go up to 18 hours or even up to 24 hours. So there are different ways of doing it. And so my favorite one is 18 hours. That's what I do every single day. So because I do 18-hour intermittent fasting every single day, I don't really do the 24-hour or the 72-hour fasting. But if you're not someone who has actually ever done that, or want to try it on, definitely you can definitely try that one out, which is 24 hours. So typically from dinner to dinner. So you eat dinner today at 6 p.m. and you don't eat until next day 6 p.m. So that is intermittent, that is 24-hour fast, and that is something that anybody can do. Of course, make sure that you're actually checking with your doctor if you have any condition that prevents you from fasting or have some ill effects from fasting. But most people whose health is very good or pretty good should be able to do this fast without any problems. And intermittent fasting, the 18-hour fast, so we stop eating around 6 p.m. or so, and then not eat until the next day until around 12 p.m. So that would be an 18-hour fast. And when you do that, your body actually does something called as an immune boosting mechanism, where the immune system actually starts becoming more active and starts looking for things that shouldn't be in there and getting rid of them. Tissue repair takes place. And when you do a 72, even a 24-hour to a 72-hour fasting, you go and do what we call as autophagy. Your body does that. Autophagy is repairing and removing things that should not be in there. It's actually very good for even prevention of cancers when you do a 72-hour fast. So during this time, I want you to actually bring more awareness into your being and seeing why we eat. And is there a necessity for us to eat right now? Or if we actually didn't eat, would that be helpful for our body? So if it is going to be helpful for your body right now, and I think, we all should be doing that, right? So it's an amazing idea to actually start doing any kind of fasting. One of the key things about this is that you should definitely be drinking plenty of water while you're fasting. That makes sure that you are not going to produce the juices in your digestive system that makes you feel super hungry and you want to grab anything that you can get your hand on and start eating. So definitely drink plenty of water. If it is your first time fasting, then you can actually go do juices, fresh juices, of course, not the bottled ones, not from concentrates, but fresh juices. You can definitely make fresh juices and drink that whenever you feel hungry. But the rest of the time, you should definitely drink water so that you are minimizing the amount of food that goes in. And that can also be considered to some part as fasting because you're not really putting any solid foods in. Okay. And some people actually, if they have never done any sort of fasting, and this idea of fasting makes you just feel very scared, or just feel like you cannot do it at all. Another thing that you can actually do is eat fruits when you just feel like you cannot keep going. So just eat like one fruit when you feel really, really, really hungry, but the rest of the time just keep drinking water. So there are many different ways of doing this. There are many different ways of going about from here. So if you have never done it, this is actually a good time to start. And this can be a simple thing that you can do other than a million things that we do, or rather in this case, not do, which is not eat, that can boost your immune system. So Alexa has a question here. Does freezing kill the virus? Yes, over a period of time, if it's actually been in the freezer for a certain amount of time, because there are no hosts for it, it will. It will not be able to thrive. And so that is a good idea as well. And I usually, when I make my smoothies, I make them with fresh greens, but I also do them sometimes when I want to maybe freeze a bag of greens. That's what I do sometimes, and when I do, I just use the frozen greens as well as plenty of frozen fruits. And most of the times, my smoothies consist of frozen fruits as well. So you can definitely do that. Um, any other questions that I can answer? Hi, Arti. So thank you for joining me today. And I will see you back again here next Wednesday at 4:15 p.m. And that's going to be again a live Q&A. So you can please post all the questions, even if you're not right here live. When you see this video, you can actually post your questions on the comment section of it. And we'll actually collect all of those questions and answer those questions next Wednesday at 4:15 p.m. on Facebook Live. And you can also obviously post questions on our page itself, and we'll be posting this video at least the next 2 times or so before the next week. And anytime we post the video, you can always post the comments right underneath it, and we'd be happy to take any live questions or questions from before. And of course, this video will be available for you to view later. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Stay well, stay healthy, stay safe.